If you feel like you make decent money, but somehow you're always broke, like money comes in and it just disappears, you're not crazy because this happens to a lot of people right now. And the truth is, it's not just about how much money you make, it's about what you actually do with your money and your money habits after the money comes into your account. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why this happens and what you can actually do to fix these habits and grow better habits. Because most people think, I'll make more money and I'll be good. But that's not what actually happens because you start making more money and your life gets more expensive. You start making an extra 1,000 a month and you're like, okay, I have extra money to spend. Maybe I DoorDash this week. I don't want to go out. Or maybe I go out to eat. I don't want to cook. Or I've already gone out with the boys 2 times this week, but a third won't hurt because I have the money to do it. And these are the exact habits that will keep you in the same position even though you're making more money. You're still going to be stressed, you're still going to be checking your account, and you're still going to be wondering where all the money is going. When you start making more money and you stop living how you used to live, and you start spending more money because you have the money in your bank account, this is called lifestyle inflation, and it gets almost everybody that gets a raise or a new job. When you were making less money, you were surviving just fine. And now that you're making more money, now you suddenly have the feeling to upgrade your apartment or get new decor on your wall or eat out more or buy new clothes or maybe buy a nicer car because you've had the same beater for 5 years. And don't get me wrong, if you were to start doing one of these things, I don't think it would affect you as much, but all of these together, oh, it will eat up your raise real fast. And this creates the feeling where you're making more money, but you don't even feel like you are because you never have money in your bank account. You can't get a savings going. You can't start investing because you're spending too much money. When you get a raise, you don't have to upgrade things. You just have to stay how you were living before you had the raise, and you'll have that extra money to put into savings or investing. And this is basically called living below your means. And this is basically just the practice of spending less money than you earn each month, ensuring there's a surplus for savings, investments, and debt repayment. It enables financial stability and avoids paycheck to paycheck living. And you always see people living paycheck to paycheck, whether it's your parents, whether it's a friend's parents, whether it's your friend. You always see this and you think, oh, I don't want to live like that. But if you keep spending more money than you make, then you will be. Another thing that eats up your income is the invisible spending, which is like subscriptions, the small charges that you don't think do anything, random spending, like streaming services, random app subscriptions, food deliveries, little purchases here and there. And you're not thinking about these because they happen in the background and they're very small. But that's exactly where the problem lies because your brain doesn't register them as a problem. Your brain is thinking, oh, I make a little more money. I can afford the delivery fees, the tip, the extra fees that they add on top for DoorDash. But those probably add at least $8 a meal, which if you're doing it 3 times a week, that's $24. And by the end of the month, you're spending $72 a month. And if that continues over a whole year, that's almost $1,000. And if we talk a little about streaming services, if you had Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, and Prime Video, those subscriptions add up to $73 a month, which will also be around $1,000 a year, just on streaming services alone. So you could see how your brain sees these as small payments, little $7 payments here and there, but they add up to $1,000 over a year, and it adds up in the background so you don't even notice. This is a big one because about 2 years ago I started tracking my finances and tracking what was coming in each month and what was coming out, and I found out something that was pretty surprising because 3 years ago I tried doing a drop shipping business and I bought a subscription called Sprocket and it was $50 a month. I signed up for the free trial and forgot to cancel it. And after I started checking my finances around 2 years ago, I found out that they charged me almost $400 that previous year. And I know this is an extreme example, but if you go track your finances, you'll find subscriptions in there that you signed up for a free trial and you totally forgot to cancel. And the reason these small purchases add up is because people don't have a system in place. Their money just hits their account and they spend whatever feels okay at the moment. There's no structure, there's no plan, there's no control. But if you don't control your money, it will control you, trust me. Another big habit that ruins people financially is you're saving what's left over, which usually ends up with nothing. Most people, they spend first and then save later. But people who actually build wealth do the exact opposite. There's a rule that a lot of wealthy people use. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. You spend 50 on needs, which is like rent, utilities, groceries. You spend 30 on wants, which is like lifestyle choices, dining out, entertainment, streaming services, and then 20 on savings and your debt. You put it into emergency funds, contribute to retirement accounts, or you pay debt that you have. And the way you can implement this plan is after calculating your after tax income, you categorize your spending into needs, wants, and saving. And then after that, you just divide your money up into those three categories. It's that easy. Say your monthly after tax income is 4,000. Your needs is 50%, so it should be 2,000. Your wants is 30%, so it should be 1,200, and your savings should be 800 every month. It's a very easy way to budget, so you spend your money on your needs and your savings first, and then whatever's left over can go to your wants. Okay, next let's talk about fixed expenses. Things like rent, car payments, insurance. These are the hardest things to change because once you're locked into them every month, you're basically stuck. You can't out budget bad decisions. Like when buying a car, your down payment should be 20%, your loan term should be 4 years, and your monthly costs should not surpass 10% of your income. And I know people in my life that are paying a car off for around 8 years and they're paying like $600 a month, which is like 20% of their income. And that really eats away at your monthly income, and there's nothing you can do about it because you're locked into that payment. So, what do you actually do about these habits? You got to keep it simple. First, just track your spending. Go through your last 2 to 3 months of bank statements, look at everything, and trust me, once you do this, you'll realize how much money you're spending on useless shit. It'll really open your eyes and make you want to start saving money instead of spending. And once you categorize your spending for the last 2 to 3 months into needs, wants, and saving, I would go into the needs section and see if you can get any of those costs down a little bit. And for the wants section, which I would say is probably going to be your biggest section because you don't look at your finances, but just go in there and pick out 2 to 3 things, not everything, just stuff that you know you don't need. And keep in mind that you need to cut down on that next month. Like when you want to go spend money eating out next month, maybe you'll make the conscious decision to stay in and cook your own food. Or maybe you've gone on HBO Max one time this month. Maybe you don't need that subscription. And the biggest thing is to set that money aside for needs and savings. You want to pay yourself first, even if it's a small amount, make it automatic. Right when that money hits your banking account, you have it automatically set up to send 400 or 500 to a high yield savings account that you don't touch. And I know it's really hard to cut down on that wants category because they're wants, but you'll be living paycheck to paycheck for the rest of your life on your monthly expenses, and you won't have extra money to put into savings or your retirement. And at the end of the day, remember, most people aren't broke because they don't make enough money. They're broke because of how their money flows. And once you fix that, everything starts to change. And if this video helped you look at your money a little differently, drop a like. It really helps. And if you start tracking your bank statements from now on, or you have been, let me know down in the comments what's eating up all your income. I'd really like to know. And that's it for me, guys. Peace.